Hello everyone, welcome back. It's time for more Windbreaker. This is season 2, episode 3. Fun fact, I was speaking to my friend in the past week about I was dropping her home and I was talking to her about stuff that we're watching, and she mentioned she's watching Windbreaker, and when she did, I was like chatting to her about it, and like throughout the conversation I kept like mentioning, oh, and I think this is cool about it. Oh, and I think this is cool about it. Oh, and I think this is cool about it. And I kept going. And then I was like, maybe I really like Windbreaker. It's one of those, you know, in like some romance movies or shows, rom-coms especially, where someone will be like, you know, oh, I don't love this person. I mean, yeah, sure, they've got beautiful eyes, and sure, they've got a great occupation, and they're funny, and they make me smile, and every time they come in the room my heart races faster. Oh my god, I'm in love with them, you know, like that's like a classic joke that you see a lot in rom-coms. I had that moment with Windbreaker where I was like, yeah, it's a pretty good show. I mean, it's got great character work, amazing animation, amazing choreography. I really like the themes that it plays with masculinity, but it doesn't have toxic masculinity, but it also doesn't shy away from the themes of masculinity. And oh my god, I think I love this show. So I really like it. So yeah, we're gonna be jumping into this. Last episode we kind of finished off the Keel arc. It was a very mini arc, and it was a good way to introduce us back into the season. So yeah, let's jump into episode 3, see what they got going on. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. Let's jump into this right now. Getting a flashback. Oh, that's cute. Jesus, man. Oh, he's doing his best impression. Aww. Oh. Oh. He jumped in. Aww. Hey, it's tough, man. You did well, honestly. And this is why he looks up to them. Well, that's great, but then look what happened to him. It's a nice start to their relationship, but his eyes are just insane. Not a good first impression. Oh, Jesus. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I thought it was gonna slowly progress to being bad. Jesus, dude. Yeah, so just prey on the weak people. That fucking sucks, man. Oh my god. Jesus. I thought they were gonna humanize Keel in this backstory. But no, they're really just doubling down on their monsters. Oh, damn, that sucks. While all these guys are down, kill them. Yeah, all have the same regrets. Yeah, he always looked up to you. See, everyone sees the strength in everyone else. It's really nice. Well, not everyone. A lot of people do. Oh. Oh, Jesus, that's a lot of blood. Oh. Oh, he just thinks too much about other people. Oh. That's really cute. Oh. Wow, great backstory. You being carried? Oh, being carried by him. I thought Suo might have been doing it. Everyone's happy and fine. Ow. It's just a small flick, it's fine. Oh. That's nice. Ah, right. He's probably beaten someone up. Oh, he's just behind. I mean, he was built for this. And he still... He doesn't believe in himself. Oh. Oh. Yeah, this is why he was trailing behind. His head is so full of doubt. Yeah, someone stand up to him. Yes. Good. Thank you, Anzai. Yeah, Nakama. You're all Nakama. This is such a wholesome group. Will I ever be able to take this character seriously? Ashtaba. I'm excited. I'm excited to see you and Mia. Yay. Oh. They're so polite with Umemiya, but he's so understanding, I feel like. Yeah, he's so understanding. Aww. I feel like Furin is built on personal affairs. Eat. Yeah. Just a warm meal with some friends. Oh. Scenes where someone eats and then bursts into tears always works. It's always so sweet. It's so delicious. Yeah. Oh, I love Umemiya so much, man. He's always pissed at himself. Umemiya, give him some wisdom as well. Yeah. You can't help but embarrass him. I think he's a sweet guy. Oh yeah. He's already pretty fucking strong. Wow, he just wants him back in. What a sweet owner. Just feed them forever. Yes, the girl! Yes, finally! I was thinking about her. Tsuchiya. She was so worried. Oh, that's really cute. Dropping the Okaide on him. Oh god. Damn, man. That's the one that fully got me. So sweet. That's it. Wow. Oh, there's more. Who's gonna get up first? I wonder if this changes Keel at all, or if they're just gonna go back to their shitty ways. Oh god. Revenge. Oh. Oh no. Oh, cool shoes. Terrible leadership. Oh my god, cool tattoos. But also weird. What does their outfit look like? Cool. Oh my god. Cool little after credit scene there. That's a good way to build up a character. I might as well write that down actually. Tattoos. So that was a great episode. I mean, it was just a nice cool down from what happened. But I mean, it was a good episode that really centered, you know, on the show's emotional core, which is really a big part of what this show is, honestly. Like, the show is a very emotional show. It, like, because Sakura as a protagonist is a very emotional protagonist, which I really enjoy. He's like a very emotional protagonist, but he's a tsundere, so he doesn't want to express that. But I really love that because, you know, I'm an emotional guy myself. It's nice. I like because I'm an emotional guy, but I still I still have those same, like, I want to beat things up feelings that a lot of, you know, guys will get when watching shows, you know, similar to this. You know, and women and non-binary people also get those feelings, sure. But I'm just saying, it's a very common, like, you know, masculine thing to be watching something and be like, oh my god, beat him up, you know, fight. I wanna see them get punched in the face, you know, like you get that feeling. But I'm also a very, like, emotional person, so, like, I feel like this series really taps in on that, where it's like it acknowledges that you can have that sort of, like, oh, I just want to see cool fighting feeling, and also that, you know, you can be a baby inside, and they're both good things. And I'm not using baby derogatorily, because I'm describing myself here. But you know, you can be very soft on the inside. And I like shows that fully acknowledge that, especially by having, like, Umemiya is, like, one of the strongest in the show that we know of, and he's a big softie. He's just so sweet. He's got such a nice heart. So it's really great to be able to show that through this series. Man, like, I was, you know, that we had the original backstory with, what's his name? Nagato and Anzai, right? We had that original backstory, and that was getting me, like, a little emotional, and the hug between them was getting me a little emotional. And then there was the meal scene where Nagato was told to eat, and he ate, and then he finds out it's delicious and, like, breaks down in tears. Like, that scene got me real emotional and, like, really primed me up. And then the scene where the girl comes in and is really angry at him and then looks up at him and says, "Okaide," like, that really gets me. That, like, sent me over the edge. That was And like, I don't know if it's like I'd been primed the entire episode building up my emotions, or if just that scene in isolation got me that much. It's possible that scene in isolation on its own would have worked for me, because that's like, I love those scenes. But I mean, we had three, like basically those three scenes were like three separate tropes that I really like, basically in ascending order, or like, in ascending order of how much I like them. So like, the first trope of like, oh, someone has a backstory where they see one person is very cool, but then the other person starts talking and they remember a moment where the other person was very cool, and that's what they're going off of. That's like a really nice trope that I really enjoy. So there was that. The whole eating things and saying it's delicious while crying, that's such a huge trope. Like, I feel like, I think of, there's in Kaguya-sama, the fake manga in Kaguya-sama has that as like its major emotional moment in it, the Sweet Today manga. But then also, and that's also the same manga as in Oshinoko. But then also like Haikyuu, when they're all like after the game in season 1, when they're all sitting around a dinner table and they all start eating and then they start crying as soon as they start eating. Like, there's a lot of scenes that have that sort of thing. But I like, that hits me really well every time. I like that trope. Because that also feels very real. Sometimes it's like once you finally loosen up, that's when the tears flow. And then I love Okairi being the emotional crutch of a scene, like that being the emotional like epicenter of a scene. Whenever they use that, like, that's something that, it really, really works in Japanese. It's like I don't want to say that like this won't work in English, because you can definitely write the scene in such a way that that in English it works with just as much emotion. But like, Japanese is lucky that it has that as a really simple go-to that everyone in Japan and everyone who watches enough Japanese media immediately knows like the weight behind what they're saying. Like, the fact that Okairi is like such a commonly used term of like, welcome back, welcome home, come on in, and it's used in such casual circumstances, it allows it to have the emotional weight of like, when someone says it in a situation like that, it's like it gives you immediately this like nostalgic, welcoming feeling, like, finally you're back where you should be. And so like, they, like, I'm jealous of Japanese writers, because they can go to that whenever they need to immediately remind you, or like to bring the person back down to earth, to make them feel like they're home again. They can just do that. You can say welcome home in English and it will still have most of that weight, but it's not going to have all of it, because welcome home is not as much of a cultural, cultural touchstone. It's not as much of like an incredibly common expression as Okairi is. So like, it will remind you of home, but your brain may not be accustomed to hearing that person say welcome home so much, or hearing someone else welcome you home like that a lot, because it's not like every time we walk in the house someone says welcome home. But so it's like, it's a thing that works really well in anime as like an emotional thing, because they tend to establish that like, every time these characters leave and every time they come back, there's these same phrases that are spoken. And so like, anime can use that to its advantage by having you get very comforted when they say Okairi in a situation where it's, where it's like this, where someone's finally back from something that was horrible. So yeah, I love that. Yeah, Umami is such a great guy. Every time he speaks, I'm like locked in. I'm listening to him. I really want to see what he's gonna say. I really want to hear. And like, it's interesting that like, people constantly are going to Umamiya really worried he's going to like be angry at them. And I think that they must be doing it just off his reputation, because like, like, I'm not saying Umamiya can't be strict with people. I'm sure he is strict with people when it's needed. But, it doesn't feel to me like that's his default in any way. And like, I feel like, you know, I guess it's mostly just that, like, everyone thinks that they're gonna be the one to, like, make Umamiya mad. And you're also just so nervous about that, because if it's like the thing that you did is what makes Umamiya mad, that's gonna be horrible. And when you have enough self-doubt and self-hatred, then when you're like sitting there in front of him, you start to think about what you did, and you start to like make reasons in your head that he would be extremely pissed off about it. So yeah, I really enjoy that. I think that's great. And yeah, I like also the theme that like that people say a lot in this series, that like, oh, I'm weak and this person's strong, but they're like a lot of the good characters. I mean, the evil characters are generally saying that to mean fighting strength, but the good characters in this series generally aren't talking about fighting strength when they say that. They're talking about a trait about themselves or a trait about other people that they find to be weak or strong, respectively. So in this, the like Anzai and Nagato both saw each other as very strong people, but for different reasons. You know, Anzai was like the type of person to be able to stick his neck out and like shout at people and fight, and he was like a little bit of a better fighter, I think. And so he fight to defend people, while Nagato was the sort of person to be able to put up with pain himself and just be glad that other people were okay. So he was like a protector. He would stand in front and shield people from the pain. So like they were looking at each other with different definitions of what they viewed as strength. And I think it's really nice, and it's a good moral as well. Just like other people see what the strength is in you. You don't see that necessarily, but other people do. So yeah, that's really nice. I think it's very funny that they started off this backstory, and I was like, oh, they're gonna humanize Keel now. They're gonna show like the camaraderie that Keel actually does have, or like show the reason that it has to go there, or at least show how it degraded to the point that it did, you know? Like in halfway through last season, you know, it showed how the leader started becoming shitty, you know? Like it showed how he started from a decent place and became more and more shitty as time went on because of reasons that we saw. I thought that's what they were going to do with Keel, but it really was just, no, these guys were rotten to the core. They were just disgusting people, and they preyed on the weak, and they trapped people in there. So yeah, they were just horrible. And it was just very funny, like, the moment in the backstory, I was like, oh, they're not trying to humanize them. They are just, like, leaning into letting them be full villains. And I like that, honestly. Like, I think it's good to, like, not always try to win over the audience on every single person. Sometimes there's just people you're allowed to hate, and that's fine. But yeah, anyway, that's Windbreaker, Season 2, Episode 3. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account if you want the full-length reaction, early access, and exclusive videos. I will see you next time. Goodbye.